Hey sports fans, this is Straight from the Basement with OMMY. I'm a sports fan who always said, if I never played a sport professionally, then I want to talk about it. I'm born and raised in New York City. Played organized basketball for several well-known teams in the mid-'70s and the early '80s, such as the legendary Home Cold Rucker Tournament, Melbank, Stone Gym and Riverside Church, LaGuardia House, and my all-time favorite, Each One Teach One. Having sports in my life at an early age always kept me out of trouble. If I wasn't playing basketball, I was either playing football or baseball. Hey sports fans, this is Straight from the Basement with OMMY, where my opinions, views, and facts will cover the hottest, the latest, and the past sports events. Welcome once again. I want to continue to thank everyone who has liked and subscribed to my podcast. And if this is the first time you're viewing it, please do the same. Now, as always, before I even get to today's topic, I got one hot topic to talk about. We're talking about the NFL Draft 2023. Yes, listen, sports fans, we will think that the Super Bowl contenders Philadelphia Eagles would have gotten some decent players in the draft the other night. But listen, these dudes, we talking about first rounders, Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith, they just not decent players. These guys are star players. I don't even know how Eagles lucked out on that one. I mean, listen, we talking about immediate impact in the first regular season game. These two dudes are no joke. Listen, both come from Georgia Bulldogs. Yes, they are ferocious. Again, no joke. Again, I don't even know how the Eagles pulled this off, but this is definitely the hottest topic. I know Bryce Young from Alabama, he went first like he's supposed to. Carolina Panthers got him. But he's not even the hottest topic. We talking about these two cats right now who just went to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles and the NFC East is not going nowhere. So my Giants, those Cowboys, y'all better be ready because the Eagles ain't going nowhere. So I want to move on. I said in my last show, please let me know who was coming out of the Eastern and the Western Conference Finals. And I said I was going to read a few responses. So I got several to read. I got a Stephanie. She says, the Knicks and the Lakers. Now, I've been hearing this a lot, Steph. I'm hearing this from game after game. People are truly believing that the Lakers and the Knicks is going to meet up. We talking 50 years ago. I just told a buddy of mine, if it's the Lakers in town playing against the New York Knicks in this NBA Finals, yes, I'm coming out the savings account on this one because I got to be there. Well, we got a Tanya. Tanya says the Celtics and the Suns. Then we got Lorraine, and she says the Celtics and the Suns. Then I got a Big Herb. He says Celtics and the Lakers. Whoa, listen, we talking about a rivalry that will never die. And then we got a John. John says 76ers and the Denver Nuggets. Then I got a Tiffany, and a Tiffany says the Celtics and the Lakers. Then we got a Nicole. Nicole says the Celtics and the Suns. And then I saved the best for last. A good friend of mine's, longtime friend. We talking about Cool DJ Red Alert from WBLS. And he says, it's hard to say right now. And I wasn't expecting nothing else from the Red Man because that's how he get down. He's just humble like that. And he just said, again, it's hard to say right now. So I want to get into today's topic. We talking about the NBA Finals bound 2023, number 3. Yes, this is the third show because the playoffs is what they are right now. It's the playoffs. They rocking and rolling right now. I mean, it's just bananas right now. We got the conference semifinals on the road to the NBA finals. We got the Bucks, the Hawks, the Cavs, the Kings, the Grizzlies, the Wolves, the Clippers, all eliminated. I mean, we are right now in these conference semifinals, and you already know how this is going down. So listen, I needed more opinions from you guys and from different guests who is going to let me know later on in this show who's coming out of the East and who's coming out of the West. And this is the reason why I had to continue with this topic. So for this topic, I want to introduce my former guest to you. I have Big Mel from Queens, New York. I got Rel from St. Louis, Missouri. Oh yeah. And we got Sheldon from the Boogie Down Bronx, New York. How's everyone doing, fellas? Talk to me. How y'all doing?
Right.
Doing well.
I'm good.
All right, okay. Hey, listen. I know we just finished witnessing the Warriors and the Kings. Listen, man, it's gonna be a war. These semi-conference, this is gonna be a war with my Lakers and the Warriors, right? And we gonna get into that in a few. So welcome. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me virtually in my basement, right? I needed to hear more opinions regarding this topic. These playoffs it's just been what we expected, off the chain, whatever you want to call it. No joke. I mean, it's just so. I got to keep it going with this NBA Finals bound, and this is the number 3. And because I needed more opinions. I just needed more opinions on what people are thinking. So I got 6 questions for each of y'all. And we're going to start with Big Mel. Which team is coming out of the Eastern Conference? Please explain their matchups and how you think this team will make it into the NBA Finals.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at it. I'm going to say Boston. I'm going to say the Boston Celtics in the East. And I'm going to say why. I think they're the deepest team. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're probably the youngest team as well. At the same time, they got the experience. They was in the finals last year, getting that bad taste in their mouth, The difference this year with Boston is they got a point guard, which is big. Somebody who could kind of keep everything in order, run the offense smoothly, defensive side. For me, I don't have no faith in Philly. I think Embiid is awesome. They center. But I think Harden, to me, he's the one, I think, to me, who never gets it done. And since they changed the rules, people don't realize, since they changed the rules, he don't get all that foul calling, all that stuff he was doing, that perception, all that he was doing. His game is normal now, as people notice. His game is normal now. And that's why. That perception that he was doing with the ball, all them foul calls and all of that. That's just me. I just think his game, to me, was always overrated. That's always been me. But to answer the question, let's not get off topic a little bit. I'll say Boston Celtics.
Celtics. Okay, so we got the Celtics going out of the East from Big Mel. Same question, Rel. Which team is coming out of the Eastern Conference? Explain the matchup.
All right, so as far as the East, I believe right now the way it's looking is Boston, but I feel like if Miami takes New York, Jimmy Butler is going to the finals. That's the way I'm feeling.
Buckets.
I'm feeling right now
buckets.
Because he's playing lights out, and I feel like he's on his revenge tour right now, where he's just trying to scrape up everybody that pretty much be forgetting about him during the regular season. So it's going to be between Jimmy and Boston. So it's just heads up. But to say someone, I'm gonna say Jimmy. I feel like Jimmy's going to the finals.
Okay, so we got the Celtics and we got Miami. Same question, Sheldon. Which team is coming out of the Eastern Conference? Explain the matchup.
I'm gonna have to piggyback off of Big Mel and say Boston Celtics. I believe they're going to take it in the East. Boston, they got them boy. They got Tatum, they got Brown, They got Smart with his leadership and tough play on the court. These dudes is like, they shooting like 40% from three. They a top 5 defensive team. I don't see anybody. Maybe the Knicks might match up against them, because the Knicks are playing even though they took a loss today.
Right.
Tibbs will straighten that out with those guys. But yeah, I gotta say for me, yeah, I'm going with Boston to come out of the East.
Okay, so I got 2 Bostons, and we got 1 Miami, and due to the fact I'm going to weigh in on each question, so I'm looking at the Celtics, man. I gotta, I know that's a rivalry between my Lakers and Boston forever, but I gotta go with Boston too, and because they healthy. You got Big Robin Williams, he's healthy this year. And like Mel said, you got Brogdon coming off the bench, the point guard, smoothing things out. I mean, they healthy. They loaded in every position. So as long as they healthy, yes, I'm going with the Celtics. Thank all 3 of y'all for your responses on question number 1. Question number 2. Which teams is coming out of the Western Conference? Please explain their matchups on how this team will make it into the NBA Finals. Rel, talk to me.
Okay, so for
No,
the West,
excuse me. I'm sorry. I went offline. I said, Rel, I want to keep it in order. Big Mel, I got excited, because we at the Western Conference, because, my Lakers, so I'm real pumped right now. So, excuse me. Mel.
Okay. This is going to sound biased because, I'm a big Lakers fan. But I got to say the Lakers, but I'm going to have it on one condition.
Okay.
It's going to be based on AD. He has to take us to the promised land. If AD plays like a beast, we go to the NBA Finals. If he comes up small, then we out of there. And then I'm going to put Golden State back in there as the second team to come to represent the West. But I gotta say, Lakers, AD's the key. That's what I'm gonna say about that. He's the key. Forget LeBron. We know he does. AD's the key on both ends of the floor for them to make it happen. So between them, I got a little between them and 2 other teams. I'm gonna say, like I said, Golden State and the Suns. We'll see how that goes. With the Suns and that series, they're gonna have a tough series with Denver, so that's gonna be interesting. So, but
listen,
listen,
I hate to cut you off. I need 1 team coming out, man. You gave me 3 teams.
I know I gave you 3 teams.
From you,
I'm gonna sum it up. I'm gonna say Lakers.
All right, there we go. There you go. That's all I need to know. I need to know 1 team.
There you go. That's the one team right there for them.
Listen, I know the West is not like the East, and every time the last 2 shows, everybody had problems when I said with the West. Who's coming out the West? Yeah, I know the West is loaded. Okay, all right. So we got the Lakers. Rel, same question. Who is coming out of the Western Conference? Please explain.
I'm going to say LA, even though this goes against my bias of Jordan being the GOAT, because I feel like Jordan's the greatest. And I feel like if LeBron goes to the finals and win, it's going to mess up my argument. But I feel like it's a possibility it's going to happen this year, because I don't believe the series between Denver and Phoenix. I feel like both of them, compared to Golden State and LA, I feel like the vets would just take over, because I still don't believe it in Denver yet. And just watching Denver play Phoenix yesterday, Phoenix was just playing like the Monstars took their powers, like our Space Jam. It was just terrible. So it'll be the winner between LA and Golden State. But I feel like just the way Golden State played against the Kings, I just feel like LeBron's going to stop that.
Okay. I wasn't all right, Ralph. Thank you for that. Wasn't expecting 2 Lakers back to back. Okay. All right. Well, Dallas Cowboy fan, my man Sheldon, Western Conference, who's coming out? Explain the matchups.
I'm gonna have to shake up the bunch right now.
I figured you was.
Yeah, I'm going with the Denver Nuggets. I think they're
Ooh.
coming out of the West. I believe in the two-time MVP, the Joker. He's balling. Your boy Jamal Murray, he's balling now like he was balling in the bubble when he was going up against Donovan Mitchell. When Mitchell was with Utah. Michael Porter Jr., he's balling. Gordon is balling. They deep on the bench. These cats here, I believe they hungry. I think they're going to take out Phoenix as well. I don't think Phoenix. I mean, you got KD. KD is great. You got the point guard, Chris Paul, Devin Book, of course. But I just believe Denver. I think they want it more. So they're my pick to come out of the West.
Okay, listen. I think you the first guest out of these three shows said Denver. And I don't even think Denver came out of anybody's mouth other than Denver don't have the respect. No one's talking Denver. Rail, you just said it. You just said it. And you know, we've been talking prior. No one's giving the number one seed any respect. And I think they've been taking this real personal. So you may have a point there, Shelton. You know, the Joker, Murray, Porter Jr. and them. Listen, and yeah, they are disrespected. So they playing like they got a big chip on their back. So we gonna see. We definitely gonna see. Thank y'all both, all three of y'all, for question number 2. So we gonna move on to question number 3. We have seen some ugly injections of players who has crossed the line. Do you think suspensions are warranted for the next game or the beginning of next season? Please explain why. Talk to me, Mel.
Yeah, I mean, I think you keep everything pretty much the same. I just think the only difference is that I guess a lot of people had a lot of static as far as with the Draymond Green,
Right.
but they going based on the history. They're going based on the history, and it's not his first rodeo. You know what I'm saying? So that's why. But then I felt Sabonis as well. They should have kind of got him on that one too, because it's kind of like he started it. But at the same time, I think you keep them the same. I just think sometimes they got to analyze. I think they kind of overanalyze these certain calls because they had one against what is that, Harden? I think that was bad. Some play you could be like, okay, they're getting a little bit out of control, but I think you keep everything the same. I don't have any problem with it. I know a lot of people did have a problem with the Draymond Green one, but I didn't have a problem with it. Guy got history, man. This guy been doing these tactics,
Exactly.
all of that. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I ain't got an issue with that.
All right, so let me get this straight. You good with suspension the next game and not waiting for the next season?
Next game.
Next game. Okay. Same question, Rel. Same question.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree that the suspension will have to be for the next game, but only if it's something completely outlandish. Because I really feel like Draymond shouldn't have been suspended for that because Sabonis had him in the full ankle lock. So I feel like both penalties should have offset, in my personal opinion. But I feel like if it's something to where it's that extreme, then yeah, the next game, but not the start of the season. This next game, get it over with and just keep going.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I got 2 next games. Same question, Shelton. Same question.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna agree with my brothers, Mel and Rel. The next game, suspension, and going back to the Draymond thing. Yeah, Sabonis, he had him by the ankle, but y'all saw it. Yeah, and Draymond, like Mel said, still has a history with these antics, man, and like he literally stepped on dude, yo. Yeah. So yeah, I think the next game, it's suspension and the rest of the league, they have to set an example. Like, yo, we're not going to tolerate this. Like, just to take a little left turn. I have a good friend of mine. One of his best friends is an NBA official. Okay. So, and my man told me that, like, he asked him, like, his boy that's an official, like, who's the worst? Who pops the most jump and gets away with dirt during games? I can't get no names as far as the rest
Right.
of my people, but
Right.
my man just said that the official said Chris Paul is the worst.
Chris Paul's the worst talker. Yeah.
Chris Paul is the disrespectful. Disrespectful, man. So to get back to the question, to answer the question, yeah, next game, suspend him. I have no problem with that.
Okay, so let me tell y'all why I asked this question, right? Because I've been talking to a lot of people, right? Not only just for this playoff, throughout the years, right? When you get a Draymond Green who did what he did, right? When you get a Dylan Brooks who wanted to hit my man in the groin area, right? Right? And when you know, we can go back Dennis Rodman days. We can just go back. We can go back. Every playoff series, you got somebody doing something crazy, and they get suspended for the next game, right? The reason why I asked this question is because it's a series, right? And so when one of your key players do something stupid, right? It's that series. If he doesn't play the next game, that's hurting that team, whereas they can get eliminated, right? Now, I got what people saying, well, he should know better to put himself and his team in that situation, especially if it's a game 6 and they do something stupid and get suspended for game 7, right? People say, then don't put yourself in that situation. But, listen, we as fans, we ain't on that court. Not even the teammates who's on the bench. I mean, the heat of the moment is the heat of the moment. And sometimes cats spaz out because they want it so bad. And so my thing is, should they be penalized right then and there in that series, or should they get penalized when the season begins? They don't play the first game of the next season, of the new season. That's what I'm getting at. Because I know, if I'm not mistaken, baseball do something similar like that. If I'm not mistaken, right? They penalize them. Cats don't play, they first few games, they suspended, especially if they're coming off of using some steroids or whatever they're using, right? And they get busted, right? So they hit them in the next season. So they don't play. They may miss the first 5 games. I had to throw that out because we talking series here. You know what I'm saying? And cats in the heat of the moment gonna do certain things in the heat of the moment. They're not even thinking. But you guys said, hey, they got to get penalized the next game. Listen, I can't fight y'all. You know what I'm saying? I can't fight you. I needed to know because I've been talking to a few people, like I said, and a few cats said, they shouldn't be hitting them the next game. They should be hitting them on the regular season of the new season. You know what I'm saying? That dude is needed. I said, yeah, you're right, he's needed. But then the argument becomes, then if he should know better. But you know how shit is, excuse my French. Cats with the heat of the moment. I know. So that's the reason why I threw that question out. Thank y'all for your opinion on question number 3. Question number 4. Are you a fan that agrees or disagrees with a coach playing a short bench? Talk to me, Mel.
Short bench, yeah, you see it a lot, with the short bench. I mean, I guess it's based on your personnel, but it just seemed like all coaches do it. They may sometimes, because of an injury or if a game ain't close, you might see, they might clear the bench. But I think it depends on that series. If we talking playoffs, for the playoffs, it's all about the series and your matchup. If you got to shorten your bench, you got to shorten your bench up. Or if you got a matchup, with bigs, whatever the case may be. I think it goes based on, the series. So, yeah,
Okay. All right. All right, so you agree with it. You all right with it. Okay. All right. Same question, Rel. Same question. Should coaches be shortening their bench? You agree or disagree?
I want to say that I'm gonna have to agree with Mel that it's really situational. Me personally, I really don't care for a short bench. I would like to have a full bench, like a real deep roster where you can rotate and have different sets. That's the way I would prefer an offense to be run, well, a game to be ran with your squad. But it really comes down to situational. If everybody not carrying they load, then you probably just got to like shorten the bench up to get the W.
Okay. All right. Same question, Shelton. Same question.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the short bench thing because I just feel like, listen, in order for these guys, to get better and to get some experience, you got to get them in the game. You're sitting them on the bench. These cats ain't getting no experience now. Say a player goes down, a major player goes down, and somebody from the bench got to come in. You ain't played this cat the whole season or throughout the series. Now he in there with the jitters. But now if you would have played him during the season, got him off the bench, he might be all right. So I'm not a fan of the short bench. I feel like the only way for cats to get better is to be out there on the court playing.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm jumping on this one. I disagree with coaches who want to just play 8, the starting 5, and then just only bring 2 or 3, and then everybody else sits. I always been against that, even back in the 80s. Okay, I always been against that. Listen, if you got a bench, that's what you do as a GM. You make sure you got a nice starting 5, but you got to make sure you got a decent bench. You play that bench, man. If you play 10 guys, you know what I'm saying? Don't burn out your starting 5. Like a lot of coaches used to do in the past, and some still doing it. You burn out your starting 5. You don't do that because you need their legs come fourth quarter. If you're going to still stick with your starting 5, you know what I'm saying? I mean, most coaches going to stick with their starting 4. Maybe one of the 5 is not rocking and rolling, or his defense ain't just there. So you bringing somebody coming off that bench who defense is going to stick and stay with the other 4. But yeah, you got to play 9, 10 guys, man. That's me. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? And keep the legs healthy. Keep the legs healthy because everybody now shooting threes and shooting at the half court. They need them legs, man. Them need them legs. Yeah. So thank y'all for question number 4. I'm going to move on to question number 5. This question is not related to this topic. Unless you are a star center in the NBA, it seems like the game has changed, whereas there's no real use for the backup centers. True or false statement? Now, before you answer this question, Mel, I asked this question on my last show. I got what I got, but I needed to know. I needed some more opinions on question number 5, so that's why I'm throwing it back out there. Do you agree? This is a true or false statement. Talk to me, Mel. You mute, unmute.
Okay. All right. So it's true or false as far as the center.
Backup center. I'm talking. I want to get it straight. I'm talking about the backup centers. I'm not even talking about the jokers and the Embiids, the starting centers. I'm talking about the backup centers, fellas. I want to know, the way the game has changed so much. I mean, the backup centers is not even being used. So my question to y'all is a true or false statement.
I gotta say true. I guess like it kind of relates to the other question as far as like matchups, because like it's the small ball is definitely killing it. So that's what makes the centers kind of like get obsolete at times. Right. So you kind of see them in there coming in there, but it's the small lines that be killing it. So it's like you got forwards, it's like forwards and power forwards and no setter, And like you said, we ain't talking about the big boys that we know now. So it's tough. It's all about matchups. You try to match up, or sometimes you straight, you know what? We're gonna go big. I don't care who's on the floor. I remember we did that. We did that one year. We did that in the bubble. Lakers did that in the bubble. It didn't matter what your team was, and we went big anyway. So it's all about your identity.
Right.
Getting your identity. A lot of guys going small these days. That's what it is. It's the way the game is. It's crazy.
Thank you for that. Same question, Rel. Same question about these backup centers.
Yeah, like the league really is going away from like stacking centers on the team. They're like just getting rotation. but I really feel like they're still needed because you got to get boards and you got to get middies. You got to get some points in the paint because just watching this past Golden State and Sacramento game, Looney had almost 18 boards in the quarter. Almost just about like you need boards. Like you could jack up all the threes, but the three's not going to always fall. But the majority of the team still running small. But I feel like you still got to invest in a nice at least two centers to like rotate.
So true. So true. Thank you for that. Same question, Sheldon. Same question. Talking about these backup centers.
Ooh. Can I go split? Can I go?
Listen, you know, it's a true or false statement, you know, and so whatever how you want to answer it.
I mean, I do believe it's true that, you know, the backup centers with today's game is faster. You know, it's more of a guard and forwards game these days. So, and then you got some forwards that are playing center, like Draymond. You got a Kevin Durant. He may play some center. And how many true bigs do we really got out there? I mean, we got Embiid, the Joker, Rudy Gobert. Their backups, I mean, I'll have to say it's true that the backup centers aren't really needed as long as you got these power forwards filling in. My opinion.
Okay, thank you, Sheldon. That's what I want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to hear that in my last show because I'm looking at the Dallas Mavericks, right? Who just jumped ship and said we're not even trying to make it even in the play-in tournament. So they pulled the starters out, right? I believe that was a big mistake Mark Cuban did, right? Because you got a bench that Jason Kidd wasn't really using. You got Big McGee. I forgot the other big man that's on it. I mean, you got big boys on that bench with Powell playing center. I mean, you could have made some noise. Dallas could have, right? I look at my Lakers, right? We just got out of this Memphis series playing against Jackson Jr. Now, I know Big Steven Adams was hurt, so he couldn't play. But I wondered if he was in this series, would my coach Ham still rotate Hachimura as the backup center to guard Steven Adams or a Jackson Jr. like he was doing, which was dumb, right? When you got Big Gabriel, Big Mo Bamba, and Tristan Thompson sitting on the bench, all these big bodies sitting on the bench, true centers, right? I look at Chicago Bulls with Drummond. When they star center goes out, Drummond comes in, he plays some serious minutes from time to time. Okay? Tipolo, the New York Knicks coach, I give him 2 thumbs up. Because when Robinson, the starting center, sits out, you got Hartenstein coming in. He brings him in. And he's playing major minutes and doing well. So they don't miss a beat when it comes to rim protection and grabbing the offensive defensive board. Yeah, Mel, that small ball is just pissing me off because I'm looking at teams, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you got the NBA package and you looking at these games weekday, weekend, weekday, weeknight.
Yeah.
And you seeing they bench who they got. And I'm a big college fan. You know what I'm saying? So I know who's coming out. And I know all the bigs who coming out year after year. And I'm not seeing them on the court. They sitting on benches. And like you said, well, power forwards are coming in, bypassing the backup center.
Facts.
And I'm saying to myself, what is this? It's like no use for the backup center no more.
Mm.
And so that's why I had to ask this question again, because you got the Embiids and the Jokers and the ADs, and once they sit, it's like the backup centers that's there, the 7-footers that's there, they're not really coming in. They bring them down. Now they go down to the power forward.
Yep.
Yeah.
I watched one game. You had the old man, my man, the king, LeBron playing the 5 against one big center. I can't remember that game. It was a regular season game. I'm shaking my head like, what is he on drugs, Coach Ham?
About offense. The problem is this league is about offense.
You got the 38-year-old playing against. I mean, it was crazy. I think it was against the Joker. That Denver game I saw was a regular season. He had LeBron playing against the Joker. I said, what are you doing? What is this about? I'm trying to understand, but I see more and more of that. And yeah, the small ball is just killing it. And that's the reason why, fellas, I had to ask this question once again. Thank y'all. And so we're going to wrap it up with question number 6. Who will be the 2023 NBA champions? Please explain the matchup and why, Big Mel. Talk to me. Who's winning it all?
Dang, man, I guess I'm gonna sound biased once again for being a Lakers fan.
It's okay.
Being a Lakers fan, but if AD be in beast mode, we could win it all. Lakers could win it all. Lakers in Boston, if you want a classic, Laker Boston in the finals. And if AD is AD and be a beast mode, we could win it all.
Okay.
Lakers.
So you got the Lakers. As long as AD showing up each game. I got you. I agree with you. Same question, Rel. Who's going to be the NBA champs?
All right. I feel like we're going to see some chaotic basketball in the East. And I'm going to have to agree that the Jimmy is still going to come out the East. And it's going to be a rematch of the, what year was that, 2020?
Right, the bubble.
The
bubble.
Oh, the bubble.
Yeah. It's going to be LA versus Miami, but I feel like Jimmy might take it this year. I don't know. Like, Jimmy just been playing different.
All right,
I'm not even a Heat fan, but I don't know. He's playing different.
Well, let's see how that ankle is feeling, because he twisted that ankle pretty bad in the game.
I didn't even see that. Oh wow, I didn't even see that.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He finished it.
Changed up all my picks.
Yeah.
No, he finished it. You know, they got a day. You know, they're gonna shoot him up. So you know, I think he be ready game 2. You know, same question, Sheldon. Who's going to be the NBA champs this year? Talk to me. Explain.
All right. Well, going to the finals, we got for me, it's Denver and Boston for the chip.
Right.
To win it, I'm going to give the edge to Boston because I just feel after last year, you know, when they lost to Golden State, like they got a chip on their shoulder and they got some unfinished business. So I believe Boston and Denver for the chip.
Okay.
And Boston in 7.
Boston in 7. Okay. So I got the Lakers, Miami, and Boston. And I ain't thrown my opinions in either show up until now, and I'm going with my Lakers.
Oh, my God.
If we play the way we finished Memphis the other night,
yes,
we will win it all.
Yes.
And but I need Coach Ham to really play his bigs when AD sits. We cannot go small ball and get killed on the offensive glass. Other than that, I got the Lakers winning it. You know what I mean? I got the Lakers winning it. And I hear what you're saying about the Celtics, Shelton. You know, they got that chip. You know what I'm saying? They felt they should have won it last year, right? I got that. But the Lakers team, the players, besides LeBron, these cats are playing to win it all for LeBron. And it is noticeable, and it's been mentioned. I know you guys, I'm a Laker, so I stay on Laker News and Laker Nation. It's all about LeBron and getting him that next chip. These boys are playing. They playing for him. You know what I'm saying? Because they know he on his way out. Plus, he broke the scoring record this year to get the NBA chip. Come on, man. Listen, it'd be sweet in La La Land this summer. So we going with the Lakers. That's where I'm going with. And I got nothing else to say because I don't want to make this out of a Lakers show. So
Please, let's not do that, man.
yeah, so I'm going to back off. Well, listen, I really want to thank my guests, Big Mel, Rail, and my man Shelton for hanging out with me virtually in my basement. I also want to thank you. Please continue to check me out, my viewers and listeners, on YouTube, and subscribe. Check me out on my streaming platforms, Spotify and Apple. Also, please remember to check out the Dewey Does Foundation that is fighting childhood obesity, which helps support youth sports, fitness, and health at DeweyDoes.com. Plus, check out the Even Flow Coffee Company, created to combine the interests of coffee lovers, fashion, and music. For more information or to make a purchase, visit evenflowcoffee.com. As I always say, sports is what keeps this world from going insane, either in a pandemic or no pandemic. Until next time, take care.